Oh!
Welcome to LeafCast, a first-time reader show based on the epic fantasy series Wheel of Time by Robert Jordan. My name is Ryan, and I am currently looking Elida in the eyes.
Ooh, nice. And I am Ryan's brother Dan, and look at it. Look! Or I will have every last one of you on hands and knees scrubbing floors. If you do not have the backbone even to look at a painting, what courage can you have for what is to come?
So, poetry to my ears, brother Dan.
And we are The Way of the Leaf, and this is the LeafCast. Episode 85 again?
85, non-stop 85. I can't drive 85. Ladies and gentlemen, we have started season 5, and we couldn't be happier. We have good news and bad news. First good news is we're back.
We're back.
We're still doing this, motherfucker.
Yep.
Bad news is we've lost our friend Todd. Yes, indeed. Todd is no longer a permanent guest on the show. He will try and pop in when he can, but life is just calling him, and those green Aja women and maybe men are just too much for him. So we say adieu to Todd, but we still have our lovely KayK and our lovely Josh, so let's bring them in right now.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Special guest. Ooh.
Whoops.
Oh. Hello. That was quite the look, Joshua.
What just happened there?
Sorry, Josh.
Okay. Hello, Josh.
Hi.
Howdy.
How are you?
Great. Thank you for asking. And how are you?
Doing well, thank you.
Josh, how are you?
Hanging in there. Thank you for asking.
Have you heard that? Oh, never mind. You know what? I'm not even going to get into politics. But shit got weird today, by the way. Anyways, read it, Google it.
Got weird?
Google it.
It got a little bit weirder today.
I don't think it can get any weirder than it has
What are
been.
you talking about?
Well, now public funds are being used for religious schools.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Fun.
Yep.
I did not
So
see
I'm
that.
forming a religion and a school. Guys, join.
No, God, please, no.
No, my school's gonna be cool. My school's gonna be really cool, and we're gonna teach
The way of the
math,
leaf.
and stuff. But guys, we are going to get really spiritual.
Oh my goodness.
Oh.
Anyway.
All right, well, yeah, we'll get back. We'll do that on our other podcast.
Yeah,
Brother.
I'm just saying.
I mean, you know, I live in Florida, which borders Georgia, and Georgia has been using, not federal funds, but
State funds.
public funds to educate people about Christianity specifically for a long time. Maybe
Yeah.
Florida even a little bit too. I mean, not to pop your bubble, but again.
Ryan, as Anthony Kiedis once said, I've got a welt from the Bible Belt.
Dealing with the hand that I've been dealt. All right, brother Dan, we have to.
So two details I have to contest, Ryan.
Oh,
It
what?
could be better. It could be better.
It
Todd
be
could
better,
be
yes.
here with us.
That could
This
be
is
better, for sure.
Yes, it's not his miss. Yes.
And wasn't the implication of Todd being joined to a Green Aja always that he only had one woman and other men that he was doing it with?
Yeah, it's now my.
I mean, you
current
only
headcanon.
have one Green Aja, as far as I can tell. It's not like the multiple comes on the men's side.
You know, you make a good point, Josh. And you know what? This is Pride Month.
I mean, just saying. Yeah, let's let him.
Be as good as you want to be.
That's right. I applaud him.
That is the way to look.
Third, I look Elida in the eye every day, many times.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Just to be clear.
You might even loom.
I don't loom over my
You might
daughter.
get creepy and loom. Aw.
Gosh, I'm glad
Well,
you
now
opened
you
that
made it
door.
weird.
Well, we got to start with our first round of season 5. Pronounce this, Brother Dan. We can't go one step further.
What? We have pronounced this?
We do.
Well, yeah. All right. Yeah. All right. Go ahead. Let's do that.
All right.
Let's.
How exciting.
All right, y'all got the new music.
All right.
everyone.
So, speaking of your daughter, and we'll get back to that, Josh. What's this?
Who's going first?
KayK.
Elida. Oh gosh. This is. Oh no. All right. I did only
Elida, oh
audio
gosh,
this
oh no.
week.
Yeah.
I know. Elida do a Rinny a Royhan? I don't know.
Say it
Good
as
try.
if it's your best friend.
Thank you.
Just go. Oh, hey, it's.
Oh hey, Elida do Averny a Royhan?
Hey, yeah, good.
Oh wavy.
Good coaching, Dan.
Thank you. Thank you.
Elida do Avrini Aroyhan.
All right. We don't have Chansony.
Okay.
I didn't get a chance to ask her for this, so I'm
Maybe
gonna.
we can just say chat. Let us know if they got it right.
Is it do or do? Elida do Averny Roy. Do. I don't know.
Aroyhan.
I think. I mean, Josh sounded really right. So you're confident at least.
All right. All right, Ryan.
I buy
good
what
job.
Josh is selling.
All right, pronounce this.
Danelle.
Anel.
I hear Chansony's voice sometimes, like in my head. Do you ever?
I think she would have.
I mean,
said
if you-
screen
Danelle.
comes up, it's like triggering.
If you listen to the audiobooks, isn't that cheating? I mean, don't you hear these names pronounced?
You gotta
No, I don't see them. You have to remember ADHD, guy. Like,
But what
I
does seeing them
cannot
have to do with
conceive-
hearing them?
I'm a very visual person, and so audiobooks suck for me. I cannot conceive or conceptualize things the way that I can when I am reading it. It's just
I'm
that
with you,
way.
Kay.
Yeah.
I love being able to read it. I like my own medium and not somebody else's.
Suffer some CRS.
So-
Can't remember shit. All right.
And
Yep.
hold on real fast, Ryan. To that point, Josh, even the audiobooks, they pronounce the Forsaken sometimes as Mogideon and sometimes as Mogadine.
They do. They
Mogadine?
switch all over the place.
They
and
do
I
switch. Yeah, there is some.
Like in the same book?
Probably
in
not.
the
but-
same chapter, actually. No, I
Yeah.
think I've heard it two different ways
Oh.
from two different perspectives. From, I think. I mean, maybe I might be wrong, but
Well, yeah.
Only one reader?
No, there's two
female,
readers.
There's a female who does a.
No, I think
POVs.
Kate has said them both. Has said it both ways.
Kate also
Well,
says
I mean-
Moraine, and Michael says Moraine.
there's many
So-
differences.
So
There are many
it pronounce this as even there is no even canon. Yes.
Yeah, unless we have.
Well, it is a fantasy language.
Yeah.
All
Yeah,
right.
exactly. All right.
All right,
Go back
everyone.
to it,
Pronounce
Ryan.
this.
Mazrim Tame.
Agreed. Mazrim Tame.
Oh, okay.
I have heard Taim.
Taim.
Yeah, in my head is Mazim Taim.
I call him
I
Mazrim
don't have it
Taim.
in my head at all. Can I?
What's this?
Pronounce this. Okay. Sit.
Oh god. Is it Yavindra? No, this is. Yeah, Yavindra? Is this Yavindra?
The mic's over here.
Yavindra?
All right, here we go.
Javindra.
All right, Josh,
You
Javindra.
both
All
have
right.
that soft, that wide J.
Javindra.
Sounds
Javindra.
weird, Javindra, but I don't know.
Yeah. Do you come from Jamaica man or Jamaica man?
Javindra me crazy, man.
It just looks like a Hindi word.
All right, well,
Yeah.
next, pronounce this.
Oh, Jolene.
Jolene.
That song went through my head every time.
Not Yolene?
Nope. This
Not
one's
Jolene.
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 Yodeling.
Jolene.
Come on, people are missing their pretty faces. Josh.
Evenaline.
Okay.
Evenayin.
Evenayin. Huh?
Avenayen. I think you said Avenayen. All right.
I did something like that.
Pronounce this!
Bumwin?
Hard H.
Yeah.
Hard H.
Hard.
You always go hard on the H.
Omwin.
Bombwin. Bombwin?
Bumwin.
And Bombwin. Pronounce this! Last one.
And Daya. Thanks.
And Daya.
All right, you guys are pretty consistent, not only with yourselves, but also how I hear it in my head. So I think we're all on the same page.
That's all that matters.
Yeah, we're on the same.
We just want to, hey, headcanon, right? We just want to know, we want to get in that head of yours.
So this book is the very first, it's not even the first chapter, it's a prologue. It is dedicated for Harriet. The light of her eyes is my light. Very sweet. Harriet McDougal is not only his wife, but the editor of this book as well, and email friends with the Twatcast. There is a little snippet of.
Well, first off, Brother Dan, before we go on, we have to bring this up. MaTsDaGger.
MaTsDaGger?
Just this Case Dice and I had a very contentious tweet that she put out. So if you want to know what's going on, follow her on Twitter and join the conversation. MaTsDaGger, thank you.
I have not actually checked since I sent that today, so I don't know what anyone's saying yet. I'll get to it.
Well, we will talk about that tweet actually when we get to for sure. Why not? I think that's perfect discussion fodder. I think we should do that.
Awesome.
It's feeling very much that way. I was being totally honest in the tweet.
But before
get that prepped, right?
But Brother Dan, before you even go on, Case Dice, what are your thoughts on the title of the book?
Oh, is there? I have a question. Is there a heaven in this world? Because fires of heaven.
Right?
That's a very good question.
I'm like, I know there's fire. I know it's on Earth. I know there are many different cultures. I don't recall heaven ever being referenced. They talk about the light a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I was also thinking, what is there an opposite power to the dark one? And maybe, Josh, do we know
the creator?
An opposite power that is actually like, but is the creator the other
opposite
power?
I
The
would
creator
assume
created
so.
all of it, though, right? Like the bad shit too. I mean, I don't know.
I mean, this is where I jump off into the deep end that most people probably don't agree with, but
go on.
I mean, again, I see like the Gnostic, like there's a Gnostic kind of way of interpreting all of this, right? Where in Gnosticism, at least the Christian and Manichaean variety, there's this notion of the creator deity, which is itself Satan, in a sense, right? That the creator deity is not the true God, that there's a God that is not self-aware, but is transcendent. And this gets into the Trinity and like ideas of the humanness of the Jewish deity, and why Satan opposes him and what their role is. And so in Gnosticism, you could get into the sense where like the the creator deity that presents itself to humans is actually flawed, right? And jealous and spiteful. That is why he exiled Israelites from Judea and right. So, but there is yet a higher creator that is not self-aware and is the pure wellspring of creation.
Okay, but how does it apply here?
So
I'm having trouble connecting the dots.
So if the Dark One maps onto Satan, and the Creator maps onto what we would call Yahweh in the Judeo-Christian way of thinking, then
very uneducated with it.
Then there could be yet another level above that, around that, that is the ultimate God with a capital G, that is not self-aware of itself, right?
The algorithm, per se, the holy computer
the wheels
spit everything out.
Well, so what weaves the... So if the creator... Well, what weaves the will of the wheel? Is it the creator? Is it something higher than the creator? Different than the creator? Is it humanness?
I do not know. The heaven question is different for me than the opposite, I guess, of the dark.
Well, in order to have a heaven, you have to have a hell.
Lesser than true, and I feel like this kind of is hell, though. Like they're in a living hell.
And that's Gnosticism.
Right.
That's what Gnosticism says. That the reason we have suffering and death in the world is because we are actually under the guise of a false god. That is the very idea of it. And so who do you worship? Do you worship the pure God that's above good and evil, or do you worship the one that says it's good in opposition to evil, but is also spiteful and full of malice and causes suffering? Created a world where there's suffering and death, and reincarnation, for that matter, in this case.
Well, and where does bring up reincarnation? What is the wheel in all this? The wheel wills as the wheel wills. The wheel weaves as the wheel wills. What is the wheel?
Yeah, does it have a
circle of life and rebirth, death and rebirth? Samsara, essentially, the veil of Maya, is what it is, right? It's like
Samsara,
it is illusion.
Not to be confused with Sosara.
You think it, girl?
So it's suffering and death and the rebirth of these souls being ground down. That's where I say, like, what truly, if breaking the wheel, this is where it gets into, like, what is breaking the wheel, and is that a good or a bad thing?
Yep.
Right.
If it frees people from the cycle of death and rebirth and suffering, is that what Rand is doing? Is bringing... We learn in this chapter that there has never before been someone reincarnated the way that Rand was.
Correct.
What does that mean?
Right.
Is that a thorn? Is that a rock that the wheel hits that sends it down a new trajectory? Is it what breaks the wheel?
Yeah.
Also, how do these Forsaken know? How did Lanfear know that it was Luciferian before Rand even did? If this was such a unique event.
This is a great question, actually.
That is a great
Overseer, in Wheel of Time, the Dark One is active, the Creator is not. So is the Dragon the only opposite active player? I guess,
that's true. See, the Creator is not. So I don't...
Well,
I don't
that
know.
we know
I
of.
feel like we've
I don't know,
I don't
know.
feel like we've met,
we have
like,
TAVERN.
maybe the...
Is TAVERN the hand of God?
Okay, that's it's arguable whether the Creator is active or not, my friend. Is the Creator controlling the wheel? Is the Creator controlling the pattern?
Is the Creator controlling any part of the channeling?
Is there...
Or the magic or anything?
So we know that the Dark One himself had been imprisoned, right? He was trapped.
He was trapped by men.
He was trapped by men,
Hubba.
And it seemed like, from what
Mankind.
we've seen, society kind of thrived a bit,
Whatever.
right? But I assume that there were still babies that died from SIDS. I'm sure that there was still, farm accidents where people lost their arms. That wasn't. I mean, yeah, I assume that.
Yeah.
There was
There's worms.
someone on a roller coaster who lost their head and was decapitated and found over by the snow.
Yes, the snow cone concession.
So so what this boils down to for me is the Dark One captured in the second age of every turning of the wheel? Or is that something that happened for the first time?
What are your thoughts? I have thoughts.
My
I
impression.
feel like they've been stuck, right? I don't know. Anyway, go ahead, Josh.
No, you go ahead, Kay.
No, it just seems like they've been stuck, right? Like this entire time for the 3,000 years, something. How long have we been doing this?
The show 3,000 years.
3,000 years.
Right? Well, all right, Kate. To your point, we've heard from Brigitte that she has lived countless lives that she remembers as if they were a well-read book. When she's in Telerenriad, but then she gets pulled out and is someone else and. Blah blah blah. But he gets reborn, and she it said she can't remember how many times. There was also Ishmael had said, "I've fought you thousands of times, and I'll fight you thousands of times again."
Mm-hmm. Well, and then
so are they right, or is it something that is this a unique age and situation?
Well, we've got Padan Fain later on going, "Oh, they call me Mordeth or Ordeeth. I can't even keep track anymore," and there's a lot of references to way back in this.
No, but that's I think that is something new too. That is all in this age.
Well, yeah, we've got all these Forsaken.
That he was those. That he is those identities. That is not referent to previous ages.
Oh, okay, you think that's just in this specific?
Oh no, that's absolutely specific to this age.
just specific to this age that Padan Fain has become Mordeth and Ordeeth.
Yeah,
or like just called by these two things.
No, he became Mordeth when he was taken over by. This I've talked about this so many times.
Yeah.
In Shadar Logoth, he became.
Gosh, sorry, buddy.
No. That's why I'm reminding you.
It's crazy.
Well, here's what he says. It says, of course, no one called it Eredal anymore, but Shadar Logoth, where the shadow waits, an apt name. So much has changed, even himself. Padan Fain, Mordeth, Ordeeth. Sometimes he is uncertain which name was really his, who he really was. One thing was sure, he was not what anyone thought. Those who believed they knew him were badly mistaken. He was transfigured now.
I love the use of that word, transfigured, rather than transformed.
Yeah.
Transfigured now, a force unto himself and beyond any other power. They would all learn eventually. But this is also coming from someone who we would say is probably somewhat insane.
Yeah, like if Padan Fain were to like face off with the Forsaken in a cage match, who would win? He's saying he's above unto himself, above all else, like Uber Alles.
Well, yeah, he's
Uber Alles.
He's able to cause pain and suffering in the fucking half-men and the Murdrolls. Yeah, I mean, he's the Dark One in theory sent Lord Luke or Isam to capture him or put him down.
Do we think that Isam? They were cheering his name. All the Trollocs and stuff were like Isam, and then rushing into battle. Could Isam handle a Myrddraal like Fain? Could he just nail a Myrddraal up by his eyeballs with daggers onto a door?
I don't think he would, because I think Isam is the Dark One's servant.
Okay.
My impression. Whereas Padan Fain has rejected the Dark One as his master. And that's what makes him this new third force within the world.
And so, could he still be in control of Trollocs now, or is that why he's moved on to Dirty White Cloaks? and shit.
I don't think he is in control of the Trollocs now. I think he might have let them out at some point. Maybe not even in the Two Rivers, but rather back at
Faldara.
Faldara.
Mm-hmm.
But not since then. But that was when he was still the Dark One's hound. The Hound, as he called himself.
Oh, yeah, okay. That's a really good observation.
But he has since rejected that and transfigured himself into this new being.
And this is why I need the real book.
Exactly.
Nothing actually sticks or makes much sense at all. Like, I'm just way off. I'm like, oh yeah, what?
Nice.
Had I read that, I love that word. That is a good word.
So we have the wheel, we have the pattern. Where does Patreon belong in all of this? Patreon?
Wow.
I think Patreon. I think that's first age of Legends.
Isn't that like the
Is it like
spine of the world?
Is it like Gnostic tithing? Is it tithing for the Gnostics?
Yeah. So okay, do you want me to go into it?
Yes.
So there were 12 tribes of Israel. Yahweh was just one of many gods that were within these tribes. I think it was the Mezanites or the Samites. Anyways, their god was Patreon. And it was actually a pretty attractive. How do I describe loyalty and appreciation in a figure? But that's what Patreon looked like. These tribes would go, and sometimes they would battle, and they would steal each other's gods. And so the other tribe was like, well, we got to go get our god back. Otherwise we're fucked. And that's why they had these like little skirmishes, right? Israelites would just farm them.
Yeah, and you had to actually put a beanie on the god when you stole it. You put the beanie on
sometimes they'd all pee on it. They'd take like selfies with their dicks on it, and they're like, look, look, I got my dick on your Patreon. So that's where that came from. Patreon was lost for many, many, many years. I think it was like during the 1960s.
The Byzantine Empire?
Yeah, the Byzantine Empire in the 1960s. There was a dig that uncovered the Patreon god. Yeah, I'm wrapping up. Come on, I'm gonna get the story. It was flown back, and that plane actually crashed. There were 2 survivors out of a crew of 180. And they took the Patreon god. They swam to an island. A shark ate one of them, and a fisherman caught that shark. They brought it up onto the board, cut that bitch open. Look, there's a Patreon god. They took it out. It was in a museum for several years. Finally, it was freed. There were some vandals that came in and just smashed it, and the Patreon god ran away.
Oh shit!
And now he's just we worship him and the freedom that he provides.
Beautiful, Dan. Beautiful. Patreon.com. Way the lead.
Thank you.
No the.
No the.
Only one the. All right, Dan. That was amazing.
Okay, sorry about that.
That was amazing.
So let's talk.
So one last thing about heaven before we get too far away.
Oh yes.
So heaven. The other interpretation the other direction I took with this is the white cloaks. I mean, I still strongly believe that the white cloaks are the best representation, the most
of the Crusaders,
parallel representation of religion within the Wheel of Time that we've seen so far. And in theory, serving the light rewards them in some way for doing what they've done.
Sorry. Yes.
Go ahead.
I totally
Jump
agree
in.
with you. And who's in charge of the white cloaks? I feel like there's got to be an equal, right, to the dark one still. And I think that we haven't, met that.
We met the guy who's in charge of the white
Did
cloaks.
we?
No.
I mean, like an
worship.
equal person that is of, that like the Forsaken look up to the Dark One, and they're just like, it's like a religion within itself too.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm wondering who or what or when are we going to, maybe hopefully see something like that on the
On the
light
good
side or
What
good
is that?
so-called good side.
that
I
the
mean, it's just
dragon
dark
reborn?
side and light side right now. I can't confirm good or bad.
Thank you,
At this
Benjamin.
moment. It's just dark versus light. Because I'm really not just gonna stick to one of those. Good versus evil,
Well,
or like
that-
good
yeah.
is the light one and the bad is the dark one. I'm not sure yet.
I mean,
Changing
and there
my
is no. I mean,
decision.
have we met a white cloak we liked?
Not so far, really.
No. No, but I like a lot of the Forsaken and some fucked up
Heaven-
ways. So
Heaven can also refer to space,
Mm-hmm.
right? That which is above.
Mm-hmm.
In theory, this could be about the two races, the Elfin and the Aelfin. Also,
Mm.
Go on.
I don't have anything more.
Okay.
I'm just thinking out loud here, but
Well, here, let me
No, that's
read
cool.
This is a prophecy from the dragon that starts this book that we get the title of the book from. So let me read it in context. It says, "With his coming are the dread fires born again. The hills burn and the lands turn sear. The tides of men run out and the hours dwindle. The wall is pierced and the veil of parting raised. Storms rumble beyond the horizon and the fires of heaven purge the earth. There is no salvation without destruction, no hope this side of death."
and this is what actually made me think about the Veil of Maya, the veil of parting, right? That which separates the illusory conventional from the ultimate. The wall being pierced, the wall of. I mean, does that mean that rebirth itself ends, or that which has been behind it is revealed?
I think it's a drinking opportunity.
We haven't had
The piercing of the wall. I don't know. Elida fingered the long seven-striped stole
Yeah,
in
as
the
soon as
first
we get
sentence.
into it,
I mean,
a light of fingers things right off the bat.
Well, with this coming,
right off the bat, I was like, "Ooh,
with
this is gonna be a long." Yeah.
All right,
Sorry.
guys.
What with this coming?
With
What?
this coming, dearly beloved.
All right, with this coming, sure. All right, good job, Ryan.
Uh-huh.
All right, Benjamin Reno. We've been busy
man.
too, buddy. Yes.
Thanks, BR.
I just
you.
got back
Thanks,
to
BR.
Gizmo Beach and all the clams you can eat.
All the
Fun.
So busy.
so when we get into Josh,
so when is 400 AB?
AB refers to after breaking, I believe.
Right. So 2,600 years ago,
Yes.
from the perspective of our characters.
Yes. About the time that the pyramids were built in Randland.
Dan, there's something brewing in chat.
Oh.
Like beer?
I know. Huh? I wish.
Come on. Josh took off his headphones.
So loud, dude. Fuck, you're gonna damage my hearing. I'm gonna sue if my hearing gets damaged by this show, Ryan.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Bleed a stone.
Was there a please when they were like yelling? Did they just start saying Bella and just like yelling Bella, Bella.
No,
Like,
it's like, yeah, the crowd's just going, Bella,
were they like Free
Bella.
Bird, Free Bird? And we played fucking Free Bird?
They become Raven.
Ah.
Yes, I'm easy. It always
Like
starts
a
with Carrie
fried
John.
kid. Ah,
It always starts with Carrie
we did
John.
not
She's the
Carrie
culprit.
John.
Nice job.
Just on you. I'm glad you are here, and I'm glad we got a Bella right off the bat. Because let's jump into prologue called "The First Sparks Fall."
Now that we've gotten past the title, sorry.
Yeah. No, I love it. No, this is why we do this shit, man. And yeah, and this is why we're only doing the prologue today, because we're getting
it's a
into it,
lot.
baby.
It's a lot.
So I made a list after the end of our last show.
Did you
I
check
stayed
the
up
voice?
longer than I should have, making a list of the parallels between Arthurian legend names and the names in the Wheel of Time.
Oh, you're beautiful.
Have you guys ever looked at this or thought about it at all?
No,
Yes, I would.
We shouldn't get into it right now, but at some point we should talk about it because it is pretty fascinating.
I want to do this
I
right
wish-
now, right?
I wish everybody
Yeah,
could see Brother
I wish I
Dan's
could make
human
graphics.
self
Yeah.
in Discord.
Oh,
It is awesome.
But let's keep going because I don't need to derail us now, but we should talk
All right,
about it
well-
at some point.
When we get to, we will get to a couple characters that I think could lead into that pretty well. Not in this prologue, but in this book. For
Later
sure.
chapter,
So,
yeah.
God damn it, Josh, that's beautiful. But
No,
the first
you
sparks
started-
fall. We're talking. We're in Elida's. Hey, Elida's the Amarillion. What?
Just say what?
She's been in Amarillion for about 2 months, and she's sitting
is.
with a couple of representatives, mostly from all the Ashes, except the Blue.
No blue.
We learned the Blue split when they deposed Swan. There's no Blue to be found. They don't know where Swan is. They have they've sent out fucking rumors that she was decapitated or has found over near the snow cone concession. But
Call back to your own joke.
Oh my gosh, that was.
hey. But so Josh, before we jump fully into it, your daughter is. You opened this door. Your daughter's name is Elida. How do you feel the tone of this book is written in regards to her so far? And what do you
Is she
feel
living
about
up to
this
her
character?
name?
I mean,
Well, it's funny because my daughter's name is spelled exactly like this, but it's not the Danish spelling that my wife's grandmother is who she's named after. Her name is spelled Elita, Elaita, which is the Danish spelling. But the Anglicanization of it is Elida with the D. So he did. I mean, it is a name borrowed directly from. It's an Anglicanization of a name borrowed directly from Danish. So it's hard to ignore. Like, what does that mean? Like, I can't help but imagine Elida Duavrinia Rohan as like Dutch. Like,
I'm trying to imagine that too. Nope.
I mean, I do. It's like, so yeah. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I'm a Josh, so there's a million Joshes in the world. What is a name? What is in a name?
What's
Not a whole
the
lot.
name?
Yeah,
You know,
your name.
like,
Your name.
I don't know. I don't really map her. Yeah, I'm joshing you. I don't really map it to her at all.
Right. Okay.
But they are maybe in some ways similar. I don't know. I mean, my daughter can be difficult for
kind
sure.
of-
Driven.
She's
Driven.
a badass.
She's a badass.
Righteous.
Yeah, I mean, right now, I mean, she's kind of a dick too.
I don't
but,
think she would be
I
a
don't
red
like her,
Aja, probably. But
yeah.
she'd probably be more like a white.
Nice.
I had to guess.
Nice.
Pure logic. Things got to make sense.
Happy Father's Day, by the way, to everybody here.
Oh.
And chat, you
Everybody
too.
in
Who's your
chat
guy?
too, yeah.
She does like it that there's a character whose name is spelled the same way. Yeah. So
Yeah.
maybe she'll hate it one day when she reads it. But
You know, Josh,
Hopefully not.
my wife and I did our son no favors when we used the traditional spelling of Finn. So it's Fionn. And I should have sent people like Beyond, and he's like, no, Finn. But he likes it. He likes it too. So yeah. So I hear, names are cool, and it's hard assigning names to little humans.
Josh, what Aja would you
Big
be?
responsibility.
black.
My other son's named Malfoy, which does not work as well.
You can't say it just because you like the color
Uh-huh.
black. You want to wear black all the time.
I want to wear black all the time. Maybe in high school.
Yeah,
Back on the,
your daughter's name is Esmeralda.
What Aja would I be?
Corilla.
Either gray or blue. If I was
Uh-huh.
being serious.
Uh-huh.
I hear
But
you.
if the blacks showed up with a good party and some drugs, I might be over there quicker than
Yeah,
What?
you can say
We
aha.
don't do that.
yeah. Really though, it depends on whose tent's bigger. What Aja?
What would you be, Kay?
Oh, what Aja? Oh gosh. Well, I've gone through all of them, and I think it's because I have an identity crisis or something. So I've been like, oh, I could be a healer and a yellow, totally. Then I'm like, oh no, I would be more of like a green because of something, I forget why, not because of the multiple partners.
Yeah.
Just I forget why.
Many puppets.
Battle Aja, baby.
Because of that. Battle Aja, that's why. I was like, this
Yep.
is something. I know I was like, oh yeah. Then at Jordan Con, they're like, no, you're definitely a blue. This
Yeah,
bitch
you're-
is blue Aja all the way. So I was like, all right, I'll just stick with that.
Blue.
I think, I see you as blue. I mean, and blue, and that's a high compliment. I think that those are
Thank
the best.
you. Always have a purpose. Do anything to
What about you,
accomplish
Dan?
it.
As I look at my pants and I see that there's ink smeared, I would, I'd probably be a brown or a green, because I do like to, but probably a brown,
Okay.
because I'm befuddled and I'm messy.
Nice. And what about
Interesting.
you?
Oh, I'm total yellow. Total
Oh,
yellow.
geez.
I'll
I can
pick
see
up
that.
yeah. It's not hard. Not hard.
Yeah.
As yellow as my shirt.
Yep.
Yeah.
Wait, so gray is what? Diplomacy? Mediation? Oh, politics. Okay. Yeah, maybe I should say white or blue.
You're not great, yeah.
White or
You hate
blue.
politics.
But what are the white again?
Philosophy and logic.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's totally you. Maybe you're like a split. Can we make you
We
like a
don't like
light?
white.
Yeah, why can't you be a rainbow Aja?
I
Yeah.
don't know. Right? Be the first rainbow
Yeah,
Aja.
you should-
Happy Pride Month,
Kay's
everybody.
like, bitch, I'm
Okay?
Amerlin.
Yeah.
I'm all of them. I represent all
one
women.
Aja.
Yeah.
I do feel it's a
I
little bit
love
limiting
it.
to have to put yourself into a single Aja.
Right?
Yeah.
It's very, yeah, it is limiting. I'm not sure I like it.
All right, this is great. Dan, this is funny. Sid, the Super Chicken says, I'm white, green, blue, and black. Wait. Which one is bad at deciding?
I'm fuchsia.
And that is
I'm
why I love that guy.
I'm a yellow and blue make green. Oh, see, no. All right. Yeah. Anyways.
That's what I was saying. Yeah, what? Like white and blue? Let's put Josh in some light blue. But I think rainbow.
So a yellow Aja who is a black Aja would be like an orange Aja, maybe. A
Uh-huh.
a red who is also
Orange?
black would be like a purple Aja? I'm trying to combine them. So, what's
You gotta,
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know
Why
either.
not?
Yeah, I think maybe we would just like make I'm thinking costumes, so I'm not thinking red and black equals purple.
Yellow
but,
and black make green.
That's yellow and blue, bro.
No.
Yellow and
Yellow.
black.
Not in CMYK. Not in CMYK.
Hey, suck my CMYK.
Oh, yellow and red make. Yeah.
CMYK, my.
You're a total.
DICK.
See, what a
Anyway.
white. Look how coolly he said that.
Yeah. Without a care of my feelings at all, you just publicly like throw my ass under the bus, make me look bad. All I try and do is make you look good, which is like the hard. Every Tuesday, I'm like, fuck, man, I got to do this show again. Make Josh look good. It's the hardest job.
I don't
I've ever had in
need
my
your help,
life.
Ryan. I don't need your help.
It's so great. So great. Yeah, eat it.
Eat it.
All right, there is drinking obligation. So whenever as we were talking, whenever an Aja personifies their shit, we got to drink. So we have 2 back to back, and I say we do 2. So because there is a woman who said, big blue eyes look thoughtfully inward, an unnoticed ink smudge stained her cheek. Guess what? That's a brown, and she had an ink smudge. So thanks for personally embodying that. The next one, right after. If they intend to have a civil war, they have chosen the proper time for it. Alvier said coolly. Later it says whites were always cool. Okay, well, if we're gonna use coolly and say they're cool, there's so many adjectives, RJ. Anyways. There we go. There's 4 red sisters there. There's a red party, and we actually hear how Elida got ascended to the seat. She apparently got the support of Alviarin, who was a white and who was the first one to vocally support, and she brought we got some bad feedback stuff going on. Something weird from me.
Might be from Ryan.
I'm not
and Kay.
hearing it.
I don't hear anything either.
Let me
Yeah,
talk right.
You don't have headphones on. Maybe that's why.
No, we do.
Me?
Can you mute yourself, Ryan? Okay, it went away. It's definitely coming from you guys. Yeah. I think it's like the air conditioner, or I don't know. There's some sort of like.
Suddenly.
What'd you do, Ryan?
Oh man,
What?
let me go fix
What'd
this.
you do?
So I do have one quip. A stole is the same as a stole is a shawl. So saying that Alviarin doesn't have a shawl on is a little weird. That he then says the stole of the keeper around her shoulders was white also. Like, stole is just the fucking skinny shawl.
But I think that there is. I think doesn't one go down your back and one wrap around your neck? So doesn't a stole
A stole goes kind of like around your shoulders.
and
It's
a
like
shawl,
what you would wear with an evening dress.
The shawl goes around.
It can be like a reverse.
And then you have like it's like
It comes down the front.
Graduation. Like I just went to a graduation, and there's people that had, I would say, that had stoles and shawls, right?
So yes, a shawl is gonna go over the shoulders more, like a pashmina type thing. But a pashmina could also look like a stole, because the stole would be more like a straight scarf or like a thicker scarf that goes straight down. Actually,
The stole went around your shoulders.
scarf that looks more like an actual like Amerlin stole, because it's got a bunch of colors in it. That is more like a stole, and the scarf or the shawl is more like a piece that is shaped like that. That's what I've seen, anyways.
So think of like actually like the Catholic Church. They'll have these vestments that.
Yeah, but vestments are not a stole.
No. But they'll have vestments, but they'll also have different things that go just around their shoulders. But then they'll also sometimes have rank things that kind of go down their neck, I think.
I mean,
are you Googling it?
A stole would be known more as a formal shawl of expensive fabric used around the shoulders over a party dress or ball gown. A stole is typically narrower than the shawl and of simpler construction than a cape, wrapped and carried about the shoulders or arms. Everything that I see indicates that a stole is a shawl. So it's just a quip, but it's like
I get
it's pretty much the same stuff.
Like,
but I think let's just picture.
I get it. The particularities of an Aja shawl are not represented in the stole that she wears as the keeper. I get it. I get his meaning, but it's just a little like.
Terminology. Words are weird. Let's picture one going over the shoulders and one just staying around the neck, as far as I'm concerned. You know.
Yeah, that sounds good to me.
Words are weird.
Words are weird.
So we see an entire disregard, and this communication with Elida during this meeting. It seems that Albion is pretty much.
Is that true though, or is it just her self-effacement? Like, are they really disrespecting her? We're seeing it from her perspective. How much of that is just her perception versus something they're actually doing?
Well, it says, I guess that's a good point then. It says, have I given you leave to go, daughters? Those were the first words Elida had spoken since telling them to be seated. They looked at her in surprise. So, yeah, maybe they weren't. And she's like, surprise, fuck them.
Yeah, I mean, it seems to me like she is uncertain in herself and needs to cause these people suffering in order to feel important. And the fact, I mean, a good leader lets their team do shit, right?
Correct. Delegation certainly is a positive enabling.
So if they don't need her opinion, do they really need to ask for it?
Well, why is she even? Well, hold on, but Josh, all right. So you work in a specific field in a specific thing where you can tell the CEO, you could not even talk to a CEO and just talk to someone who's under him and just be like, well, this is what's going on. I'm the expert here, kind of thing. But most business meetings, I would think, if the CEO is fucking right there, you defer to him a little, or her. Shit, you defer to him or her.
To them.
Them. No, I looked them in the eye.
As I think that there is that sometimes level of, call it respect, call it fear, call it job security, but you tend to, don't usurp the power if the power's in the room. If Elida wasn't there, then sure.
Are they usurping though, or are they just having a discussion? I mean,
but you see
the feeling that I'm left with from this section was fuck. She's insecure, and they're doing their work the same way that they would have done when Swan was around. Maybe it wouldn't have been the same people sitting at the table, but there doesn't need to be a hierarchy. There can instead, I mean, what you're saying is that you have to honor the hierarchy if there is one.
I'm saying that the Aes Sedai are all about hierarchy.
Yeah, I think that's true, and I also think that they're just like, they think the world revolves just like specifically around them and the White Tower, and like nothing else really matters or is going to take over, and they all have their own like agendas, and it just really, they seem very arrogant. Like it started with them, right? Our story started with, you know, getting to know Moiraine and everything, but well, not really getting to know her, I guess. Anyways, now I'm rambling.
Well,
but,
I mean, to Josh's point,
like, I just don't seem trustworthy.
There is that unreliable narrator going on. We are in Elida's point of view, and she is sitting there fuming as this meeting's going on. So she maybe is seeing things that may not be
We're
there.
seeing things through her perspective. Whether or not that is what is happening objectively or trans-subjectively between the other individuals in the room. That's all my point is. And then she takes it out on them because she has this self-effacing attitude.
Yeah. She's not a good leader. I agree with that.
She is not a good leader. That is for sure. Because a good leader would have interjected. Would have. Who even knows who called this meeting? But if we assume it's Elida called the meeting because it's in her study, right?
Yeah.
Or is it a regular? It's the weekly. It's their staff weekly meeting. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like
their staff. I said
this is their Tuesday.
It's their shift exchange.
Their Tuesday, check-in, team check-in.
Tuesday check-in. It's their Tuesday one-on-one.
So you don't think that they were being disrespectful at all?
Okay, so does Alviarin respect Elida? Probably not, and I wouldn't either, because she's not worthy of respect. She's a word I'm not going to use.
Yeah, that'd be difficult for you to say, but this specific Elida in this book is.
No, Elida definitely does not tip.
Although I liked what how she was described later on. What did Padan Fain say? I made a note of it. As being more stubborn and more cruel than Swan, but also being more brittle and harder to bend, but easier to break.
Yep.
Like,
so what does that mean?
Low carbon steel. High carbon steel.
Because Padan Fain does come in. I mean, she said before Padan Fain comes in, she says, "Hey, you guys just had this cool meeting about all the shit that's going on all over. You just info dumped on us. You told us that there's civil wars going on. Told us that there's issues with Morghese. We don't know where Elaine is. We don't know where Swan, and we don't know where any of the Blues are. We don't know shit, more or less." And she's like, "Hey, I don't give a fuck. You go find first. You go find Swan. I can't even say her name. You go find.
Yeah, she's all. I threw up in my mouth a little bit. Go find that bitch. That one. You know the one. I can't. I don't want to say
that woman from Michigan.
Too horrible. She's so dramatic.
From Michigan?
Well, no, that was a reference to Governor Whitmer, or someone referred to her as that woman from Michigan.
That woman. Yeah. Okay. Got it.
My wife has that shirt. That one. Anyways, she gives two orders. She said, "Fuck you, drop all that shit. I don't care about Tame escaping. We captured him and he escaped. I don't care.
Keep that quiet.
Don't let that happen. I don't care about any of the civil wars that are going on. I don't care that it seems that they're trying to put Morghese onto the Kyrian throne. She has a claim to it, apparently. If you guys caught that.
Yeah.
But she's like, I don't give a shit about any of that. Find Swan. Find Moiraine, and find Randall Thor, and they're like, look at that picture.
Okay, so this this brought something up for me. So,
Sure.
what? So the Reds' intention, their why this God, my brain is not working. It's too late at night.
Okay.
I know
The
how
Reds
you feel, buddy. It's gonna be
stat-
okay.
Status quo is to still any man who can channel.
Mm-hmm.
How does the Dragon Reborn fit into that? So, what I mean by that is, here's a man who can channel, who has a purpose as prophesied by history. Do they still him, or do they try to keep him under their thumb, like the Blues?
No, I think they're trying to control him, right? Like, I think
it
sounds to me
sounds like
everybody
it.
wants control over Rand, because if they can control the Dragon Reborn, then they can control what happens to the wheel and whether or not this breaking happens or not, right? And like to what extent, and then like all the other agendas that are in play, which I cannot keep track of them all. But
Well, here's the pertinent paragraph here. It says, quote, Randall Thor is the Dragon Reborn, daughters. Shemmarin's knees gave way and she sat down hard on the floor, which is freaking comic relief. She's like, oh. The Dark One is breaking free of his prison. The last battle is coming, and the Dragon Reborn must be there to face him, or the world is doomed to fire and destruction so long as the Wheel of Time turns. And he runs free, daughters. We do not know where he is. We know a dozen places he is not. He is no longer in Tyr. He is not here in the tower, safely shielded as he should be. He brings the whirlwind down on the world, and we must not stop it. And we must stop it if there's to be any hope of surviving. We must have him in hand to see he fights in the last battle.
But Rand will willingly go to his prophesied death, and that's the difference. That's what is not accurate about their perception of the dragon.
well, how do you know that he's gonna go to the death? Like,
Yeah, how do
what do
they
you
know?
what makes you think he's gonna fight to the death?
Because he talks about it all the time when we're in his perspective.
Fight
He's
to the death.
expecting
Yeah,
that he has read the prophecies. He knows what's coming up,
Yeah.
and he sees that he's being
But
led
it's
there,
not. But
and
it's
he's
not
taking his own
he's
path.
gonna die.
What?
Is it?
Well, I mean, it's
It's not.
It's in the prophecy that he's gonna die.
He's gonna die.
Yeah.
His blood shed on silence.
Yeah, his blood is shed on. Yeah.
I
He
mean,
dies fighting the Dark One.
I don't know. Okay.
I mean, he expects to die. That's my impression that I get
Yeah,
from
he certainly
hearing his
expects to
innermost
die.
thought.
No, I agree with that. I totally agree that he expects to die, and we know that. But I'm not sure that the prophecies specifically said that. But I'm
pretty sure that's where he gets the
probably
idea from. But
Who knows? Yeah. Well, yeah, sure. I don't know. Maybe he's just scared shitless, because I would be. Maybe he's just like, all right, I better expect that I'm gonna die at some point. This is too big. He's a little farm boy, and
So-
he's just like hit with this big thing. Maybe he's just like expecting that is the outcome. I don't know. Or maybe he dies and then is reborn again.
So where does the trouble?
Something.
What is her problem with Swan and the Blues plan? If they, I mean, as far as we fucking understand, Moiraine's whole plan was to put a leash on Rand and lead him to fight the battle at Tarmangaiden.
Yeah, but who's to say she didn't? Like, maybe she's using a Forsaken.
Wait, who's to say
for-
who didn't?
Moiraine didn't put a leash on Rand.
What I'm asking is,
Oh, okay.
what is Elida's problem with Swan and Moiraine's plan? If both of them want to control Rand and lead him to the last battle at Tarmangaiden, why does she have a problem with what has been done so far?
Well, she says it again here. She says he's not here in the tower, safely shielded as he should be. So it could be perhaps that
Shielded from what?
Shielded
From the power?
From the power.
Shielded.
What? So he can't fucking
The
learn?
power.
Like,
What? He's learning right now. He's been learning.
well, yeah, he's
He's
out
been
there learning,
the
but if
whole
he's
time.
shielded from the power, he's not going to learn how to fucking fight.
But the thing is that she thinks that she is a red. The Reds
I
are
understand.
devoted to fighting because they know that men will go mad. And so that's the dichotomy, is that the Dragon Reborn is destined to fight for humanity, but right now he is just a male channeler who will go mad. So I think she's trying to maybe pretty much just put a leash on him and keep him in a room so he doesn't get hurt until Time of Guidance goes, and then they just
But the prophecies need to be fulfilled, yes? The prophecies need to be fulfilled. How will he go to the Stone of Terror and fulfill the prophecies if he's fucking shielded from the power in the tower?
Yeah.
I just don't get it. It's just like there's a narrative inconsistency here.
No. I mean, that's what they want to happen, but do you think that's actually going to happen? That he's going to be just shielded?
No, but that's what Elida...
I know
This gets back to my original question. Why does Elida have a problem with what has happened so far? So much so that she deposes Swan.
Well, I mean, imagine
If they ultimately want the same thing. This is more rhetorical than it is an actual question, just to be clear.
Well, I think we can also look at the fact that she vocalized the facts aloud. Randall Thor's the Dragon Reborn. This was something that Swan was not doing, and Swan even told Moraine, "Hey, what we're doing here could fucking get us, still." And guess what? Swan was right. She got still. What they were doing was treasonous because there is supposedly a structure, I suppose, where you gotta communicate with other sitters, man. That's the whole deal. That's why your skull has 7 colors.
Well, I mean,
just talk to blues and connive.
But also, didn't this shit start before she was Amerlin?
Her
and Moiraine working together did, yeah.
Yeah.
Right,
so,
right.
Like,
they knew of the prophecy, and that's it. Yeah.
Yeah. So having that kind of secret rogue mission that was, while still at representing the White Tower but doing their own thing, I could totally see why they'd be pissed if they don't they'd be like, you're right, it's like every cop movie where they just go off on their own without telling the commish what's happening. It's always illegal. The commission's got to know.
Right? Is this what ensures that it's a different thing than the past? Right? I mean, there's just so many factors at play between what we hear from Lanfear about Rand being the first incarnation that is this way, where prophecy has led to this incarnation the way that he is. Is that a byproduct of Swan and Moiraine giving him the space to become what he has become? Or is that something that happened outside of their influence? Granted, Elida can't know that.
Mm-hmm.
And if Elida is following us, I mean, but where do they get this script from? If the tower is following a script, so to say, for how to treat the Dragon Reborn in order to bring him under their control, where does that script come from? Because they don't remember anything from before the breaking.
Prophecies.
But the prophecies say he goes and takes Kalendor and blah 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 blah.
He did.
Also, yeah, but he wouldn't be doing that if he was in the White Tower under their control.
Yes. I don't think that he is going to be for a while. I think that he's not going to be caught. I think that's just Elida's plan.
Right, but is that what they're
she wants
expecting?
to happen. I don't know.
I see. So you think that she agrees?
I don't think it's going to happen though yet. Like, I think it's not going to happen for a while because, like, to all of your points, you're talking about all of this shit that needs to happen still. There are all these prophecies that do need to be fulfilled. And there's the last battle that has to happen no matter what. So, I mean, whether Rand makes it there or not, although the prophecy does say he's going to, right? So, like, it does feel like there's a lot more that it needs to happen and is going to happen, surely, before something like that happens. Before he's shielded in any way. Before Rand is captured by the Reds and actually...
But I think Elida's problem is that he's not already been captured. Yes?
Yeah. She's pissed. Oh, I think she's living.
So how would all of that have been able to occur if he had already been captured?
I see what you're saying.
See where I'm coming?
She wants that to happen, and it can't happen if what she actually wants is for him to be shielded.
As of right now, she knows nothing. She doesn't know where he's at. She knows he's not in Tyr. She knows he's not in the White Tower. She doesn't know shit. She doesn't know he's in the Io Waste. She doesn't know anything. And so that, I think, is that... I mean, so let's say there's this mad nuclear weapon we're running around that you are trying. I mean, this is a danger. We read the prophecy here. This is all bad stuff. Fires of heaven. I mean, all this shit is not good. It doesn't. This is.
But is it worse than the Dark One fucking reigning?
Yeah, but the lesser of two evils still hurts. Do you want to lose a toe or a foot? I mean,
do you want to be eaten? Do you want to be eaten by a Trolloc, or just have a boring life,
or have your head decapitated and found over near the okay.
Yeah. The Johnny Wurzer kid. All right.
Jumping Jesus on a pogo stick. She has two paintings up. One of them is of the last red QB Amaryllis, and it was during Arthur Hawkwing. It was Bronwyn, the last red to have been raised to the Amaryllis 1,000 years before. It pretty much had it as a triptych.
That was interesting.
It was a triptych of like her being raised, all proud, her with Arthur fighting Arthur Hawkwing's forces, and then her being deposed and then taking this stolen shawl off. And she says she keeps it there because she understood that the constant reminder of the price of failure was necessary. She's pretty badass. What do we think of Elida? If she had all the information, would she make good decisions?
If Elida had all the information, would she make good decisions?
In regards to Rand.
I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah, is she acting out of just ignorance, or will she always be acting like this no matter what?
I don't know. I mean, she's been pretty consistent so far about just being a total bitch.
She is a red who does not like men who channel. You know?
Yeah. So I mean, I can't if she's gonna remain a red. So I mean, I guess that's the question. The follow-up question would be, well, if given everything she knows, like if she's given all the information, would she still be a red? I would hope not. But maybe she knows.
Well, we have Mazrim Taim.
I don't know.
Mazrim Taim or Mazrim Taim or he's out loose. So there are more. There's false dragons at least, or men who can channel that are still problematic, I guess. How many men do you think can channel in this world right now, guys? Let me ask you, Josh, first.
I'm sorry, what?
How many men right now? Give me a rough number of men who can channel in this world, not counting Forsaken.
I can't.
5?
I can't give you that estimate.
All right.
1,000?
Well, there's
We don't-
Kanye.
We don't know enough about. We don't know enough about the other cultures. Like, let's just assume that the Tuathan, the sea people, what are they called?
Shanchin.
Athanieri.
Jeez, how do you remember all this?
That they have men who channel too, like they have women. We don't know that. We don't know that they don't. Why? We've seen already every other culture besides that, the Western, I'm going to call them primary culture that we've been immersed in so far through the text, have channelers, at least of the female variety. Mm-hmm. What do they do with the men? I mean, if the Aes Sedai didn't know that the fucking Windfinders could channel, what can we know as readers and as basically members of this culture that doesn't know everything about male channeling within these cultures? So I don't feel confident.
Interesting.
Is the short of it. If we were going to work from our very limited, probably incorrect perspective, yeah, I'd say 5 to 50.
5 to 50?
But my suspicion is that is very wrong. There's probably that many Dark Friend, like, we still haven't seen the Dark Friend city that's like the White Tower, but I'm imagining there is one. And probably there's fucking thousands of Dark Friends who can channel within that city. At least hundreds. So, yeah, what perspective, like, it's hard to answer the question because it's like the book. We are within a limited first-person point of view. It happens to be our own limited first-person point of view, which is educated by all of those first-person perspectives we've been exposed to up to this point within the text. So, again, I don't feel confident to be able to answer your question. It's the long answer.
Right on. I dig it. And I don't know is a great, and that was a great prelude to I don't know. So and that makes perfect sense.
That was the best I don't know.
But I will say that from the different cultures that we have seen, the Sea Folk, the Shanchin, so far we have only seen women who are channeling within their society or being used. I mean,
didn't we learn that the Aiel men who could channel left to go fight the Dark One, the Trollocs in Sightblinder in the Waste, or not the Waste, in the area that borders where the Dark One's lands are. What is it called? The
Shayogul?
No, the area where the world's all fucked up that they go into, where there's like the Blight.
The Blight, yeah.
Right, the male Aiel who can channel go into the Blight to find their future or to die, right? I think we were told that in the last book.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay, so you think that maybe they live out there?
Or they get absorbed, they get turned into Dark Friends in Dark Friend City, where I don't know. I mean,
the grass is green and the girls are pretty.
Dark Friend City.
Dark Friend City. Here we come.
So yeah, like, okay, and one more little bit of information, right? Only is the taint on side in only part of this age, and does that happen every second age? This gets back to the original question that I had a little while ago of like, is this something new that has occurred where the Dark One has been imprisoned by humankind, or is this something that happens every turning of the wheel? If so, what happens to the prior to the breaking, we know that saidin was not tainted by the Dark One's power. The Dark One tainted it when he was imprisoned, essentially, or prior to being imprisoned. So male channelers, in theory, prior to that point, would not have gone insane, and therefore there wouldn't have been a reason to still them or gentle them. And in theory, other cultures would have taken advantage of their abilities, since they would have been powerful and not fucked up.
Uh-huh.
Does that all make sense?
So
Yes.
is the taint then regional?
I don't think it is. I'm assuming that the
No.
taint is on saidin for everyone who wants to touch it,
Okay.
whether they're a member of
Drink.
the Atan Mier or the Aiel or whatever. But I don't know.
Well, here is a little thing that we learn when all the Forsaken are together. Ravine, when Lanfear first arrived, it
Right.
says, quote,
When he
snatching at
channeled.
saidin, he filled himself with the power, the taint of the male half on the true source, rolling off the protections of his bonds and
Dark
hopes,
ones. Mhm.
the ties to what he knew as a greater power than the light or even the great. Weird.
And we already kind of got a feel of this when Asmodean was captured in the last book, where Asmodean started to feel the taint once
Absolutely.
Rand severed his connections to the Dark One.
Well, apparently he severed him. So Asmodean can, from what I remember, Lanfear said he can only channel a trickle.
Now, but that's because she shielded him after Rand cut him off.
Oh, okay. Okay. Cool. What do we think about Fain visiting Elida? Is Elida a dark friend in your guys' eyes? Okay.
Oh yeah, I totally think Elida is a dark friend.
Okay.
I thought she was. I'm not convinced now. Like I said, there were so many pointers to her being a dark friend early on in the text, but
Maybe she's, I don't know. Never mind.
no,
There's
so
a- There's an interesting little line here. And I'm trying to find it. She was describing that she had on her desk. She had kind of decorated her office. She's just kind of musing while they're all talking bullshit.
she has the miniatures.
And she has a box of miniatures. She's a freaking nerd. Woohoo! Who doesn't? I have a friend who painted miniatures like when he was a kid, and still has them. And they're awesome and they're nerdy, and that's all I could think of.
So one thing that kind of left me feeling a little wanting about this prelude was prologue. In the last book, in the prologue, Padan Fain visited the person who we were reading about.
Yes. Oh, and so he's been.
So is this like just going to happen every fucking prologue? Padan Fain's going to roll up on.
Right?
Hello, ladies.
Seriously. And there was so much that happened, or that just kind of happened in this prologue. It left me asking more questions than anything. So I hope that we have more answers and the blanks are filled, because it just feels like we have half the or part of the information. But we were given a lot of information in the prologue.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway.
No. Yeah, Padan Fain has more characters than Fletch.
What does that mean?
That's a
Who's
what?
Fletch? Oh my god.
Chevy chases Fletch. Come on.
It's all about ball bearings these days, boys. All right, let's talk Fain, and we can still talk Elida and stuff. But he kicks everyone out. Everyone's like, "Bye." She's like, "Find my shit by tomorrow." Bye. Aviana gives her a staring contest until Fain comes in, and Fain has a couple interesting observations. He does notice that she has her cool eyes, cool face. So, drinking obligation, because Javier, whites are cool, man. Everything about her is cool. She's Fonzie. She's like Emilio Estevez in the 80s. She's like so cool.
I like this. Super Chicken saying maybe the female half will be tainted during certain turnings of the wheel. Not like they don't have it bad enough, Sid. Jeez.
Jeez, Sid. Yeah, now. Yeah, come on. They only earn 40% of what men make. Now you're going to give them some taint, too? Come on, chicken.
We can only hope.
Fain is there. He knows he's there for the dagger. He knows the horn's there. He knows the dagger's there. I mean, to a certain degree, this is what the Aes Sedai do: is they collect valuable things and they just throw them in a room. Yeah. So that's kind of what Elida wants to do with Rand. Just collect them and throw them in a room until they feel it. And they have dangerous shit in there that they don't know what is useful, but they don't know what to do with. So that's kind of along the Aes Sedai method. You know, I don't know. But Fain is there to talk about Rand. She said, "Tell me about Rand al'Thor." The interesting thing he says at the end, he says, "First you must tie a string to one of the few he trusts." Well, what's interesting also is he says, when he turned back to the Amaryllis, he did not realize his manner was as commanding as hers, meeting her stare for stare. What happened? You become someone else? I mean, what? I don't know. Fain is fucking weird. He has an accent sometimes that kind of switches. He's knuckling his forehead and washing his hands.
Is he using his dashing personality? Is he using his info to influence people, or is he using some sort of like Padan Fain magic?
Yeah, does he have like a plus 12 charisma?
Like how is he influencing like these people? Like how is he like sitting there talking to the Amaryllis?
He talked to the Amaryllis. He talked to the top white cloak person. Mm. He even took some of the white cloaks with him.
So is it compulsion? Is it compulsion? Like the weaves compulsion, or is it something else? Like is he channeling onto people, or is right?
I don't know. I mean, he's doing something.
Yeah.
Is it all just intimidation?
He's doing something to them. No, I don't think so. I think that it's like he's doing something to them, and it sounds more like compulsion than anything else, but I really need to just read it with my eyeballs and not listen to it.
Yeah.
So I have a kind of out there thought about this, which is, what if Padan Fain plus Mordeth plus Ordith is in fact the belly button of the Dark One?
What?
In the sense that what if Padan Fain's identity is in fact the Dark One re-entering the world, rather than in opposition to the Dark One? That the Dark One's re-emergence is happening through Padan Fain's transfiguration.
So you're saying the belly button, as in like the umbilical cord, which is once
that connects back to the Dark One. Like rather than the Dark One emerging as some other being, instead he's slowly coming out of this chrysalis of Padan Fain into the world. Like, or maybe a new Dark One is being formed via Padan Fain. Like, does there have to be only one Dark One? I get it. It's Dark One.
Dark One.
Asked and answered.
Could there be a Dark 2?
No.
A Dark also?
The sequel?
No, that's a different story then. We've got the Forsaken. Don't we have enough?
Okay, so that's my out there thought.
But it's great.
Well, I mean,
that's super fun.
What I thought you were going to go
Going back to a more serious, less out there thought.
The electric.
Hadn't the electric boogaloo, exactly. The person who was Padan Fain was captured by Dark Friends and subjected to some kind of process by which he was turned into the Dark One's hound. This is what happened during book 1 and 2 when he was chasing after, when we had this amorphous being chasing after Rand and the boys through the first 2 books. We later learned that was Padan Fain. Then he enters Shadar Logoth, at which point Mordeth, a separate being who had been fermenting within the darkness and evil of Shadar Logoth, essentially finds this husk of a man that's broken down enough, but also darkened, connected to evil enough, evil in quotes here, to enter him and transfigure, metamorphose into this hybrid being that he then emerges from Shadar Logoth as. This then leads him to become Ordeath, who seems to take on even additional powers of being able to like give pain to these fucking so is it channeling? Is it something different? I don't know.
Yeah. Do you think compulsion is a part of is that a way of channeling though?
I think compulsion requires use of one power.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because they do talk about cutting off the weave or tying
it off.
It off. There you go.
I don't think Padan Fain is using compulsion on Pedro Nial and the Amerlin. I think he's just an insidious force, and his brokenness allows him to personality-wise shapeshift, not physically shapeshift, but morph into this thing that can notice their weaknesses and present them with that which they desire. Which again ties back to my out there idea of what if this is in fact the Dark One, the way a Dark One emerges into the turning of the wheel.
Well, Josh,
interesting.
why earlier on when you were saying, okay, we got Padan Fain, we got Mordeth, we got Ordeath, I thought where you were going to go was the Holy Trinity. And is this some sort of dark version of a Trinity figure?
Well, I think Ordeath is a hybrid being born from Mordeth plus Padan Fain's brokenness. Not a third thing that was added.
So didn't Fain have an encounter?
But he doesn't know
Well,
he in his own POV, Josh. He's like, I don't know who I am anymore.
What my name is? Yeah, who I am.
He's like, I could be this, I could be that. It seems interchangeable in a way.
I love it because it seems very much like a. I know it's not like this, but
he's like Max Zipper.
I don't know who that is, but I'm gonna lose my train of thought, brother. Dan. Okay. It's already gone because I said that.
It's gone, yep.
Yep. Oh, wait, no, it's not.
It's back?
No,
it's gone. Fully gone.
No, this happens all the time. Yeah.
We got it. Come, bring it in.
Bring it back. I can't.
Reel it in. Reel it in.
What was I talking about? What were we talking about?
Padan Fain.
Padan Fain.
Trinity.
Nope, I was the Trinity
hybrid
thing totally
hybrid.
threw me
Okay.
off.
Yep.
Nope.
Pedro
nope.
Nial.
Getting further away.
All right.
Go away. Nope.
You look gorgeous.
Thank you.
Okay.
That's a good point, though. He does go in the prologues to see some very powerful people. Last time it was the Leaf of the White Cloaks and the Two Rivers. Now, let me ask you this, or just you, Josh, again. When does Padan Fain, he had some white cloaks with him, right? That became kind of these dirty buns. Were these dark friend white cloaks that just kind of went with them, or does he corrupt them in some way? Josh? No. Oh no. Did we lose both our first time readers, right?
Josh is totally sus right now. Look at that face. It's perma-sus.
What a sussy dude right now.
God, I feel so bad for his sussy ass face. Damn, this has been an amazing episode. Let's just wrap it up. Just kidding.
We certainly can't. I mean, we didn't talk about the.
KayK is coming back. She's writing notes. Seriously.
I mean, we got the Forsaken still to talk about, but
Brother Dan, we've had some amazing predictions last episode and this episode. Some of them are subtle, some of them are accidental, but holy Toledo!
Oh yeah, this has been a great
holy cannoli, as Clay Thompson says.
You know, and this is the joy of these books, right? And after 30 years, we can still dig new mines of oil and be like, oh shit, look at that, we just did a nice little tea, guys.
Speaking of oil, I showed There Will Be Blood to KayK.
Yeah, she
loved it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, if you've not seen it, you can't sit through it.
And it's a little long.
Yeah.
It was amazing.
It was one of the great.
But I'll drink your milkshake, and I'll drink it all. There we go.
See, that's what you do. You just get the social reference and then move on. Where's the meme? All right, well.
All right, yeah, well, fuck it. Let's just wrap this up, right?
I'm back. If you want. Is he okay?
It's been almost 2 hours. I mean, we can have a short show.
Yeah.
We talk. There was... You want to...
I remember what I was going to say.
Oh,
yes.
Jeez.
Bring it.
So ridiculous.
No.
It was not that important. Sorry, it was not that important. Okay, so the Padan Fain thing, the switching of personalities, I think it would be, first of all, really fun to do a Watch You Feeling episode and just dissect all of that.
Yeah.
And Padan Fain, bless you.
Thank you.
Gesundheit.
I like that. That's a great idea. Yeah. Multiple. So he's total multiple personality.
Yeah.
This is DID.
It kind of seems, I don't know, it's just interesting anyways. Like, because Josh was talking about how he's just so broken, and that is what creates that whole, whatever power he has over these people. Right? Anyway. So
yeah,
and that's it's a lot like code switching, like in our time, just changing.
Hey, that's a great point. As far as like
who you need to be.
That's a really great point because he is struggling with identity. He is a victim of multiple trauma. He is, but he is. He's also magical to a certain degree if he was able to, to survive that city. What's it called? Not Shadowgirl.
What wasn't it?
MaTsDaGgerX.
But it was that.
Or MaTsDaGgerX.
Oh, well, it was. Is that what it was before it was Shadowgirl? What was the
one
that was different? It was called something else.
Oh, Hadden.
It was in MrHowley.
Eridol, yeah. Eridol.
But it's not Shadowgirl, it's Shadowlogo.
That's Shadowlogo.
Oh, okay. Yeah, sorry. Yeah.
So, Eridol. Yeah, and that's who Padan Fain is like, yeah, that's me. That's I remember I'm part of Eridol. Yeah. But no one calls it that anymore. So, yeah, Padan Fain is a weirdo.
Padan Fain walks around, used to in the 80s wear that shirt that says, "What doesn't kill you makes you stronger."
I thought he said it had a shirt that said "Shit happens" with a smiley face.
No, he had a shirt. It was one of the old Moonies where you just like the old fashioned guy just pulling his pants down, giving the Moonie.
I thought he had a Mickey Mouse shirt who was flipping off.
I thought the Calvin and Hobbes shirt where Calvin is pissing on
Hobbs.
in Hobbes' mouth.
Yeah.
Just right in his mouth. Josh is back.
I'm on my cell phone, so I don't know how good. My normal internet seems to have gone down, so we'll see.
Okay. Well, we'll finish this. We'll talk about the Forsaken now, unless there's anything else you wanted to talk about. Fain, Mordeth.
Yeah, just that I think that Ordith is more of a persona of the hybrid. It's just a name taken by the hybrid that is the Dark One's Hound plus Mordeth. And Mordeth wasn't able to fully take over the shell that was Padan Fain because of what Baalzamon had done to him in advance, I think. So where that ends up in the long run, I don't know. But Padan Fain now is just another one of those personas that this new being can take on, right?
Okay. Well, it says at the end, because of that young man, meaning Althor, he had suffered pain beyond remembering, pain he did not let himself remember.
And that was what Baalzamon did to him to turn him into the Dark One's Hound.
Right, and suffered far worse than pain. He had been broken and remade because of Althor. Of course, that remaking had given him the means of revenge.
I believe in an earlier book, it was described as he was distilled.
Distilled, yep. Distilled into the Dark One's Hound.
Remember that, Dan?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
No, I remember that, Ren.
Ugh. Transfigured and distilled are like the two of the greatest, like just precise words.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, distilled and then transfigured, right? He was distilled into the Dark One's Hound, and then he was transfigured by his merging with Mordeth.
Mm-hmm. My favorite Padan Fain scene is when they found him crawling up the wall of Faldar, was it, Dan?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Like a spider. He's all...
Or like a zombie film or something.
Yeah, seriously. Like where zombies can climb.
Clawing up some
golem zombie.
So he talks to Elida about Randolph Thor. Says that he's a Fain guy. He's hard to. He just wants power. He just feed him bullshit. And then says at the end that first you must tie a string to one of those he trusts, and then it goes on. And then we jump to the Forsaken. Ravine is sitting there hanging out, being a dick.
Yes, smash cut to Ravine.
And so he's interacting with the weak Aes Sedai, who was sent to Andor to take the place of Elida at the side of Queen Morghese.
Because we learned that this woman that he is fucking with there is Aes Sedai from Lanfear.
And Elida tells us that she sent someone to take her place, basically.
Elida didn't. Alviarin.
Alviarin did? I thought Alviarin said that she wasn't sufficiently trained yet, but Elida defended her. And now I gotta find it.
But yeah, he is. He pretty much is like has some lord with him, and that Aes Sedai, and he's like, all right, go kill her. Says, quote, take her to the streets by back ways and leave her there. She is not to be seen.
By back ways? What does that mean?
With the butt?
It's a drinking obligation.
Thought so.
Not through the main ways.
Not the main ways, the back ways.
We learn that there is a protection that the Dark One seems to provide to Ravine, because when he embraces Saidin, says the taint on the male half of the true source, rolling off the protections of his bonds and oaths.
What the hell is that? He's not tainted?
The taint on the male
Taint
half
free?
of the true source, rolling off the protection of
They are
his
taint free, it appears. It appears the Forsaken are not, the male Forsaken don't seem to be affected by the taint. There is not the threat of going mad.
the ties to what he knew as a greater power than the light or even the creator. Interesting.
Yeah.
I see. Yeah. So Javindra said, a red sister in place in the royal palace, newly raised, so she can easily pass for other than Aes Sedai.
Yeah, because she doesn't have the ageless face yet. But
He
they're
is
like,
well trained, though, quite strong and a good observer.
Yeah.
Obviously, not strong enough to not be
She got picked up like
manipulated.
that.
Yeah, not be manipulated by Ravine.
The ageless face was kind of interesting. Just a quick little thing on that. I always thought it was like ageless as in like young looking. And it confused me during like a chapter in the last book when they were talking about Swan looking older now that she wasn't younger now that she wasn't an Aes Sedai, and I was like, what the fuck? That's odd. And now they spoke to that though in here, and they were like, yeah, it's just agelessness, right? And it's like could go 20 years either way because they just don't look like any age at all, right? Anyway, thought that was fun.
With tautness,
Right, they could be
a
off by
tautness to the skin.
decades. We learned that there's four are dead. 4 of the Forsaken. There were 13. 4 people
Right.
show up. Or 3 people show up.
So I made notes about this too. So
Go ahead.
Balthamel was killed by the Green Man near the Eye of the World. Agenor was killed in the Eye of the World, or killed himself using the One Power. Bilal was killed by Moiraine with Balefire. That was in Tear, in the stone. Ishamael was killed by Rand with Kalendor in the stone.
Correct.
And then Asmodean, this is then the one who rejected them or went against them, was Asmodean, who was captured by Rand and Meridian, right?
Correct.
That's all of them? Okay. Had to go back.
There are 4 at this meeting. There's Lanfear, Grendel, Samael, and Ravine. And there are 4 others living who are Masana,
Mogideon, Masana,
Semiraj, and Damodred. We've met Mogideon. I think that's all we've met of those.
I think so too.
And Nynaeve almost kicked her little ass.
Exactly. Oil of LA. Always a cover girl.
Maybe she's born with it. Maybe it's the One Power.
Nice.
We learned certain traits about some of these people at the meeting, right? Let me see. We learned that Grendel. So Grendel always has like these servants. Physical beauty was not enough for Grendel's service. They had to have power or position as well. But the level of compulsion Grendel employed surely left them good for little more than decoration.
I love too that we find that only a slight tingle in his skin, like a faint chill, was all that told him he had channeled. We had talked about this in the chapter with Egwene and Rand and Elaine.
Yeah.
We do have a drinking obligation. When Ravine mentions he's talking to Lanfear, he says, quote, I'm just going to read it out of context. You did always favor the flanks and the rear.
Drink. Yeah, yes, I remember laughing at that.
So.
Brother Dan, you're getting called out here. You almost had it there, Dan. Maybe she's born with
You know, I volleyball is a bump set.
Nice.
And I'll let no one garden
spike it, yep.
Lanfear confirms to everyone there that Asmodean has gone over to Rand. They're like, why'd you keep him alive? You're right there. She says, well, I did not want to launch a frontal assault against superior forces.
In your terminology.
Ravine says, is he really so strong? Could he have overwhelmed you face to face? And she responds, he is Lews Therin Telamon reborn. Lews Therin was as strong as any. Samael absently rubbed the scar across his face. It had been Lews Therin who gave it to him. Lews Therin is a badass motherfucker, guys.
Yep.
He's fucking shit up. Give Samael a big old scar across his face that he won't even heal. So he always has hate.
Hate in his heart for...
What's going on? Ryan?
Oh, that was a total accident. Sorry.
I assumed.
So, Kay, what did you make of the quote, disconsolate old man in a wrinkled coat sitting amongst the nude attendants and acrobats?
In Grendal's, where Grendal...
Yeah, in Grendal's world.
Yeah. Okay. I could not figure that out.
Yeah.
But as I'm thinking about it, I'm trying to think. I'm feeling like I'm remembering like in a dream somewhere there was like a naked Rand, but this is an old person.
Yeah.
So that doesn't make any sense. So.
Yeah.
Oddly, a lean old man in a wrinkled coat sat disconsolately amongst the performers.
Right?
In a wrinkled coat.
Yep.
I mean, it sounds like, yeah.
Someone under compulsion, maybe not, if she's not taking care of as fully as these others.
Who did you think
Tom
it was?
is like a lean old
I don't know. I mean, I'm assuming it's a leader of, we'll probably find out at some point, but wherever she is masquerading, like, assuming like Ravine, she's masquerading somewhere in control of an area. I assume it's the leader.
Large room full of pools and fluted columns, nearly nude acrobats and attendants wearing masks. She has a party going on. And some old man is just looking just bummed in the corner.
Yeah.
Oh, he wasn't nude. I had him nude in my head also because the acrobats were nude.
He's in a wrinkled coat.
Yeah, he's...
Samael is
kind of stands out.
He has marble arches opening onto wide stone balconies and gulls wheeling and crying in a cloudless blue sky. What do you think he is?
I'm guessing either at the capital of the Athan Mier, somewhere on the sea, maybe an island. I mean, the seagulls wheeling in the clear sky seems to indicate the coast, or some kind of. Again, in my mind, they're all out there pretending playing a role in normal society, inserting themselves in history through manipulation. That's what they're all doing in my mind, like Ravine is in Andor, and I guess Lanfear is not doing that other than through Rand's life, but like Ishamael was in Tyr.
Cool. Yeah.
There's pretty much half of all the active, alive Forsaken at this meeting.
Right. It is half of them, exactly.
Well, beside Asmodean.
Right. The ones who have not turned on them or died.
Yeah.
Correct. Yes. Lanfear emphasizes twice that she's been keeping a close eye on Roniel Thor. And she has a plan that seems to thrill, or at least intrigue, the three other Forsaken with her.
Yeah, but it's like a plan to stay out of it. Lanfear's like, I'll watch Rand. You just stay there. Right? Or no? Is there a different plan?
I'm not sure. It says, quote, I keep an eye on him unseen, but the rest of you must stay clear or run the risk of direction. You must draw him back, ... Brenda leaned forward, interested, and Samuel began to nod as she went on. Ravine reserved judgment. It might well work, and if not, he saw several ways to shape things here.
Yeah, and what is Lanfear doing here? Because she also says, she leans forward, and it specifically talks about her, being tense. Lanfear seldom showed tension.
Yeah, I noticed that
and
too.
was forcing the words on them. So yeah, what do you think Lanfear's up to? I don't know what it is. I wrote down something, but
does it make sense?
Yeah.
Does what I wrote down make any sense?
Yeah.
Why was she acting like she's the only person that can watch over Rand to make sure he doesn't do anything stupid? I was just like, why is she acting this way? This doesn't make any sense. So no, it doesn't really make any sense.
I thought it did make sense because it
my
says...
note doesn't.
Oh, I see. It says, whatever we are, Lanfear said, we can succeed where Ishamael failed. She was leaning slightly forward as if to force the words on them. Lanfear seldom showed tension. Why now? I think Ravine is just picking up on the fact that she's trying to bring them all together and have them act as one, which is not typically A, how they do it, unless the Dark One is present, or B. And so he says, why more? Why only us four, Ravine asks. The other why would have to wait, as in, why is she acting this way?
Mm-hmm.
Why now? Why now do this?
Right.
We do get the impression that she formed this meeting. She was the emissary. She jumped into Ravine's thing and was like, whoa, we're all cool. I'm just letting you know 2 other cats are coming. We're going to talk.
Well, we know from her discussions with Rand that her plan is for them to use the Sarangrial, and overcome the Dark One while he's still in his prison. So in order to do that, presumably she has to get the rest of these Forsaken out of the way.
Mm-hmm.
Or at least subjugate them or put them off, deter them, so that they don't get involved in a way that interferes with her plans.
This is what I'm saying. Thank you. Yeah. Thank you for spelling that out, because this is what I was saying, or feeling that something was going on, and you said it perfectly.
So is she playing double agent for Rand behind Rand's back?
What?
I think she's surprisingly honest with Rand.
Is she trying to help Rand?
She's trying to help Rand to help her.
She's trying to fuck Rand, sure.
Yes, she's trying to fuck Rand, and she's trying to get Rand into a position where he will unintentionally or intentionally help her get what she wants, which is ultimate power. And they're uniting to overcome even the Dark One.
Is her motivation power, love, both.
Are those two things separable? I don't know that they're separable in her worldview.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. What do you think? Okay, is her motivation love for Rand, straight power, neither or both?
No, I mean both for sure. I just can't. I don't know which one is more intoxicating for her. I think probably Rand, because he can provide power, like Josh was saying, you know. So, I mean, Rand is kind of a twofer in that way, because she loves Luce Theron, but she really does want to be in power, and I think she also really wants Rand to be in power too. So.
Well, they're saying, I mean, they're saying, we're like making fun of her, saying like you would serve him soup or something, like if he asked you to.
Right.
Yeah, no, if he said rug, you would lay down or
Right.
something.
Yeah.
Drink.
All right, I'll drink.
I mean, I think Ravine sees her ploy, right? Whittling away the dead wood means killing the other 4 Forsaken who are not in the meeting with them.
Correct, and
Yeah.
he referred to the willing dead wood as far as the other 4 who died. He's like, well, fuck them. They were garbage.
Right, so it was the sort of answer Ravine could understand. Not that he trusted her, of course, or any others, but he understood ambition. The Chosen had plotted amongst themselves for position up to the day Luce Theron had imprisoned them in sealing up the Great Lord's prison. And they had begun again the day they were freed. He just had to make sure Lanfear's plot did not disrupt his own plans.
Let me segue into this then, because they talk about Ismail was more than half mad, Samuel muttered, and less than half human.
Half human. Yeah, it's interesting.
Grendel, is that what we are? Grendel arched an eyebrow. Merely human?
A new
Surely
word
there's
needs to be made
something
up for
more.
us. Right.
This is human. She stroked a finger down on the cheek of the woman kneeling beside her. And by the way, she's sitting on the back of a man who's on all fours, like
Right.
he's a chair. She says a new word will have to be created to describe us. Are they? I mean, I don't know. I really liked that, and
Yeah.
I wonder, is that just what Aes Sedai is like a human, but they do?
Forsaken?
She mentions that she said there was 4 of us. Hold on.
Yeah.
Once
4
we
of
are
us have
13 immortal, now 4 are dead and 1 has betrayed us.
Well, that's a contradictory in terms.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, immortal doesn't necessarily
forward.
mean cannot die. It means will not die naturally.
Oh Jesus.
Right? Just like a vampire. A vampire is
vampire
immortal,
is-
but you can kill it with a stake.
Yep.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Gotcha.
This little thing in the fandom, I think, is called the Forsaken Happy Hour or something. What is it? I'm not sure.
This? I mean,
It's
it
something like that.
certainly
Or
is fun, and it made me excited about the rest of the book. So
It's more like Forsaken speed dating.
Yeah, maybe, huh?
Just
Is there anything about this prologue? Yes, setting yourself on the man's back, where he crouched on all fours. Fucking great. Grendel is my favorite right now. She is a fucking party. She opens her gateway. There's naked fucking acrobats. She has 2 servants with her bringing her wine, and she sits on one of them. So good.
I thought it interesting.
Fingered on the cheek and was kneeling sweat. I love it. Yep, Grendel is amazing.
I thought it was interesting the way that Ravine doesn't summarize Lanfear's perspective, but he does summarize the other 2. He says, Samael's way had always been armies and conquest. He He would not go near Lutheran, even reborn as a shepherd, until he was sure of victory. Grendel, too, followed conquest, though her methods did not involve soldiers. For all her concern with her toys, she took one solid step at a time. Openly, to be sure, as the Chosen reckoned such things, but never stretching too far in any step. But then we don't get his perspective on Lanfear, which I thought was interesting.
Well, she was like to take it from behind, he said earlier.
That's true.
Well, he did also say that, hey, in any other room, Grendel would be hot, but Lanfear.
Lanfear, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Taking the cake.
Yeah. Hey, Grendel, you're a hot second.
Right. I like Grendel too, though. She's a lot of fun. Right now, I don't know what she's gonna.
Yeah, but she's like
She seems kind of fucking crazy, though.
She's
A
like
little heavy on the compulsion.
Little evil.
Yeah.
Just
pleasantly plump, right, or something like that.
she is
That's
pleasantly
fun.
plump.
It's all fun to me.
No,
right now.
prettily.
I just am really liking the Forsaken.
Prettily plump.
she's plumply pretty. Yeah, that was my last drinking obligation.
Gross.
Plumply pretty.
Thanks, RJ.
Yeah. Way to.
We know how you like it, buddy.
Yeah.
Like it.
Jeez. Gross.
Well, guys, I think
Posthumously, you might still like it.
Ew.
I think we're good.
I do love how the prologue's called The First Sparks Fall and chapter 1's called Fanning the Sparks.
Yeah. Yeah. And we didn't talk chapter icon, but this this one is
The Wheel of Time
Wheel
icon.
of Time.
And then
I think all the
Andor
prologues
lion.
are actually the Wheel of Time.
Right.
And
And
so is this Padan Fain's?
Yeah.
And we
icon?
get the start of the Fanning the Sparks chapter 2 begins with the wind.
Mm-hmm.
No, yeah. Yeah.
Starts over.
Beautiful.
Yes, love it. Fires of heaven in a world that may or may not have heaven.
Well, yeah. They have dragons that don't exist. They have
There are giants that don't exist.
guys. We have a heaven that doesn't exist. I mean, come on.
Good point.
Exactly.
I mean, we're all filled with myths.
Brother Dan, we could be
Us.
on heaven right now. If I was in heaven, I'd be a YouTuber. I'd be YouTubing in heaven, baby.
Would you?
Oh man, I'd have a
Would
much,
you be talking to
That's your
more
heaven.
than 8 people?
I'd have a barca lounger.
That's so cute.
Barca-
Woody Barker Lounger?
Ryan, what is a barca lounger? Can you tell me? Can you describe a barca lounger to me? All right, guys, that's been the We Are the Way of the Leaf. This
Good show.
This has been a fun show. Ryan, your heaven cannot have things that you can't describe. You should be
That's
able
right.
to describe your heaven. Okay, are you done? All right. All right,
Run
John.
fire, run for your life.
I want
Yeah,
a Higgs
guys.
boson flux
Actually,
capacitor.
We
A Higgs
will-
boson flux capacitor, eh?
are
Yeah.
Are we
Nice.
back next Tuesday, Ryan?
Oh, no.
I don't think we have a show next Tuesday.
No
So,
show Tuesday.
Following Tuesday, we will hit chapters 1.
All right. We love you guys.
Use Einstein's equivalency principle and figure this all out, Ryan.
We'll do it. And slowly run.
Okay.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Look at I'm in slow motion.
Run for your life.
I'm running